everyone, Sean Clement here with our next video analysis, and I got Rick from Australia on the line. This is really cool. So you'll see some close-ups here when Matt puts it on, that Rick has actually a very nice grip. It's nice. It's a strong enough grip. I like the way it looks. When you look at his setup from down the line, you'll notice that his legs are just a little too straight. So we need to get those legs down a little bit more solidly. So get into your sandbag tossing posture, Rick. Okay? So if I'm waiting for coffee at Starbucks, this is where I'm going to wait. I don't like waiting, but all of us have to do that once in a while, so this is how we got to do it. We stack everything up so we take all the strain and stress off the muscle structure. However, if I wanted to heave a sandbag into the back of a truck, I'm not going to do it from here. I'm going to do it from here. So now I feel like I'm engaged, my glutes and my quads feels like now I can use my legs to heave that bag into the back of the truck. And that's what you'll notice when you see Rick take a couple of swings here. Look at it from front on, and you'll notice how his legs are very static during the swing. There's no bounce in those legs. There's no use of ground. And that's why, because he's not able to use the legs to get the ground, he's not as able to throw the club at the target with authority, and therefore that's where you see a little collapse. So he gets to the top and it swings through with the arms, but you notice the arms get a little cramped and a little bit collapsy on the way through the shot. So that collapse comes from the lack of use of the ground. So the first thing I'd like you to do, Rick, is go feet together, knees together, and really feel how as you swing back and through, the only way you get proper range of motion when your feet are together, because you'll notice that it'll really reduce that range of motion. The hip is the femur. Hang on a sec. So you look at Scully here, right? The hip is your femur. The femur is half your knee. In order for the rib cage and pelvis to turn fully, this has to give. Well, you have to have enough knee flex for this to give, correct? So, let me put Scully back over here. So now, if I take my posture, now I got enough knee flex so that when I turn out of the way, the only way that rib cage and pelvis gets to turn out of the way is if the knee flex gives a little bit. You don't want to dip forward and get all cramped in the backswing. You got to let it come up. But if you start with your legs already pretty much too straight, then you have a real hard time coming up so that you can go back down to get the ground. So a human being in a walk, here's my center of gravity, I let it fall forward, I just fell. Now I catch myself and roll myself back up. So there's a nice, if you go walk down a busy street, you'll see a lot of bobbing heads. That's our relationship with walking. It's our relationship with gravity. So when I swing back and through, let it out. Let it out. So see how my arms are swinging freely, and I'm using my legs to propel. So what happens, when the arms fall, the butt returns. The return of the butt loads the knees, and as it continues back, the legs are going to use the ground to remove the butt out of the way so I can have my access to the target. So my butt counterbalances my arms going back, my legs have to come up. Then as my arms fall, everything comes back down. Use the ground to propel out of there. So watch as I use this nice pumping action. And man, that is just so flush. And it's so easy to produce. I can hit 7 irons 175 yards all day, feet together. Because to feel the arms get pulled away from you, and that's what I want you to feel in your regular golf swing, okay? So now if we go back to the regular golf swing, we're going to use a little bit of walking motion in combination with this, right? So you need to start walking and swinging. Let it swing, let it swing, let it swing. So as I'm walking, I'm going to feel how the weight goes from the inside of the right back to the inside of the left, and then back from the inside of the left to the inside of the right. So you got this beautiful ebb and flow that you're going to become aware of. So you started off feet together, and then you go feet apart, and you feel the same thing feet apart. And then now it feels like, oh yeah, I can just rip through there. And that felt so amazing. Okay? So you'll be able to get a lot more velocity, and obviously you're going to get a heck of a lot more width when the arms get projected away from your body that way, okay? So there's what I want you to work on. Grip's fine. The arm unit looks great. Just get down a little bit more in your posture, and then start using the ground to throw the club out there. So throwing the club feet together is a fantastic drill as well. So I feel like I'm throwing the club feet together and propelling the club out there. You'll feel like you're using your legs a lot more in that fashion, okay? So you'll notice the driver that you took from straight on, after you hit the drive, you kind of fell forward, right? So to finalize this, when you take your backswing and your target wanes, and you default to the ball. So you notice your head's back here, and then your head kind of moves forward in the downswing. That tells me, that body language tells me that you are now focused on the ball, or you defaulted to the ball. So I'm going to the target, and you've got this beautiful setup. Your setup with the driver looks amazing. So I've got this beautiful target in mind, and now all of a sudden, whoop, I'm going to the ball. Swipe at the ball, I'm going to fall forward. I'm not going to be able to, to stay in balance very much. So when I'm going out to the target, brain's got to load. It's got to go step. Now I can use the ground to remove my body out of the way to go to the target. Your balance is going to increase a lot better. So use your legs to throw the club at the target. So when your eyes are here over the ball, you're getting ready to feel that nice throw of energy out toward the target. And don't be so careful with the legs. Let them go, okay? Let the legs be used actively in this venture. Enjoy that, Rick. Let me know how it goes.